Hey guys, Gordon here. Just wanted to do a quick conclusion video on about the last like 3-4 tests that have been done. The big one is the underbore accuracy issues. This one got so big and so heated it even spilled over onto PB Nation, and it was all over the place for a while there. R&T Lee, who produces a lot of good test stuff. I like a lot of what he does. I think he's on the right track. But he kind of felt like me and Bryce and some of the guys at Punkworks were ignoring him. Anyway, so there was some kind of disagreements there, but he produced some videos that showed that at some extreme underbores and some extreme overbores that there's definitely a difference in accuracy. And we, using these flask barrels, and so we got a whole set of these flask barrels, and you guys saw that test if you're on the Punkworks channel, the flask test, and we were able to underbore by about 10 thousandths, maybe 9 thousandths, somewhere in there with those barrels. And we did see that the vector at any given range did get worse. It wasn't statistically significant in terms of like a 95% interval. It was closer to maybe a 60% interval. So, I mean, it was significant, but not really all that significant, so we kind of passed it off as that. But it looks like, and R&T Lee was able to reproduce this many times, this worst pattern being shot by these extreme underbores, and by the 8 to 10 thousandth underbore range. And so, you know, we took a look at it again, and definitely what we noticed with the iFit too was that during the testing of the iFit, the chrono testing, we seemed to observe all sorts of spin and stuff like that, and that the accuracy was falling off at 10 thou underbores plus. And so, and we were able to underbore by almost 20 thousandths with that, so we're really corkscrewing around there. And so what that led us to do is the high-speed video that we put up showing the doing a spin test across everything from like about a 6 thou overbore down to about a 12 thou underbore. And what we were able to produce with that was kind of interesting. At first, when I looked at that data, the standard deviation was ridiculously large. The average was an average of 10, so it's not all that meaningful, but the standard deviations were ridiculous. So I was first trying to calculate confidence intervals, and nothing was working because the standard deviations were so large. But that in and of itself is the interesting thing, because if we put consistent spin on a paintball, then it wouldn't be that much of a factor. The problem is the spins are inconsistent, and so the standard deviation alone tells you that once you hit above about a 6 to 8 thousandth underbore, your accuracy probably does drop off. Now, we don't have any really hard testing data on that, other than that the spin on the balls comes out and it's way more random and the magnitude is way larger. But, you know, I took pride in the fact that even on that test, the, you know, paint to barrel match to about 3 thousandths underbore, maybe a little bit farther than that, was among the lowest spins out there. So it kind of reinforced the point that there is definitely a range of underbore, and this is something we found with the iFit kit and with the flask kit, is there's definitely a range that you should underbore. You know, we've long hypothesized that there was a range, and now we're able to get to be able to test that range. And you start seeing barrel breaks and you start seeing accuracy loss at about 8 thousandths underbore. So definitely, you know, it's kind of ironic that, you know, the first thing we recommended was about a 3 to 5 thousandth underbore, and it turns out that that's probably the ideal underbore out there. It definitely, everything points to that right now. And so, yeah, I thought it was interesting that we were able to affect accuracy with barrels, because we've never seen that really, but it looks to be true. That if you underbore enough, you can actually hurt accuracy. And that actually makes me think of one of the first things Mike ever told me about underboring when I was talking to him was, oh yeah, in Florida you can't hit anything with an underbore, because, you know, it just shoots really inaccurate. And it's kind of ironic that we come back to that, because you know, if he was honestly getting, you know, 689 paint, and we're telling him to shoot a 679, that's a 10th thou underbore. That could affect accuracy. You know, whereas we've always said a 3 to 5, and, you know, I haven't seen too much paint above about a 683 in years, so, you know, a 679 is right on, you know, right where you want to be. But if you know, you're getting big paint, you gotta go to maybe a 685 or something like that. So it was an interesting kind of, it got kind of heated. It was kind of a big dramatic thing. So I just wanted to do a conclusion video, what I exactly thought was going on, and just to fill you guys all in on the status of you know, paint to barrel match accuracy and that whole thing. So hope you stick around and subscribe to this channel and the Punkworks channel. Alright, talk to you later.